back to The Color of Success, the Black academic experience, where we explore the experiences of Black PhD doctors in their doctoral programs. Today, our guest is the newly minted Dr. Briana Bostic, who graduated in the spring of 2023. Welcome, Dr. Bostic.
Thank you. I'm really happy to be here. Thank you both.
So to start, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, I just recently graduated with my PhD in education, focused on early childhood settings, particularly teacher job demands and resources and child social emotional development from Johns Hopkins School of Education. I grew up in Prince George's County and am from Venice, South Carolina. And I have also gone to college at Washington University in St. Louis. For my bachelor's degree, I studied economics and anthropology. And then while earning my master's in education with a focus on early childhood education from Dominican University, I taught at Chicago Public Schools. So I was a preschool teacher before coming into my graduate program.
What made you decide to go to grad school?
Yes, I always knew that I was going to do something as a terminal degree, right? And so it was like I was going to do an MD or a JD or a PhD. I really enjoyed writing papers, doing research, and got an opportunity to work with a couple of professors to do that. And so I feel like they were very encouraging about it. And it felt like, it felt very natural just to have the freedom to pursue my interests. I would come up with my own topics for papers. I had an opportunity to write my own syllabus that's like a self-directed course in undergrad. And I just appreciated the freedom to do that. So when I got the chance to decide what kind of PhD I wanted, initially I was thinking about policy focus or even anthropology, but I was like, I want to do something that's applied so that I can work wherever and wouldn't have to stay in academia if I didn't want to. The professors talked to me about that too, and I was like, I want options. And education just seemed so applied and broad, and I decided to do that.
And did you go straight through like undergrad to your master's to your doctoral program?
Yes, I did not stop. And I do think that contributed a lot to like the goodness of the experiences that I had, because I felt like I was just really passionate and just didn't stop. But some of the challenges that I had was basically just about just being this young whippersnapper, and everybody's just like, what do you know? You haven't like lived a lot of life. You just went straight through school. But I was like, it's only going to get more, it only felt like it would get more challenging if I did stop. Like the opportunities felt fresh and felt like take them now, have the support now,
And how did you decide on Johns Hopkins for your PhD?
I applied to 7 or 8 programs. All the programs promised having the tuition covered and a stipend, and Hopkins had the highest stipend and the largest amount of benefits for a reasonable cost of living area. And the faculty, I like the faculty because everybody just did many things. It's like you have a faculty member, they're in the School of Education, but they also do work with the School of Public Health. They also work with community organizations and nonprofits. So the flexibility was there in terms of who I could connect with.
And what was it like to come back to Maryland for your doctoral program? Was it nice to be closer to your family, I'm guessing, in Peachey County?
Yeah, well, sort of, but I think that's just the nature of family in general. Yes, so when I was in the Midwest, I liked the Midwest a lot. Like in terms of the quality of life, I think it is like the best. But I also like the South, but the Midwest has like sprawling cities that are affordable to live in. And I felt there's like a lot of like large land grant universities. And so you meet a lot of people just in general who have gone to get bachelor's degrees. And I felt like it's similar to this area in that way, but it's distinct from the South in that a lot of people that I knew growing up in the South, like I'm able to make good livings, but I didn't necessarily know a lot of people who went to college outside of my family. Coming back with family was okay. I thought it would be cool to have a lot of family support. I think there's pros and cons of that, because then you can end up getting so involved in like your family's lives, and that's not necessarily for the best. I think I would have probably finished this whole degree a lot faster if I did not come home. But I did not foresee a pandemic. So in terms of just being in their company, it gave me a lot of relief to like know that everybody was safe and know how everybody was doing. And I do think I could have otherwise been preoccupied about that. Like just the prospect of losing a loved one in a time like that. I like this area because I feel like it's unique in how much like Black professionals are able to do and achieve and connect with one another. And I do feel like that was missing in the Midwest. So the Midwest felt very rigorous in its like class identity for Black people. So there were a lot of like well-paid pension type jobs that I saw a lot of Black people who were doing well work. The ones I knew who were able to buy homes and do well and be employed consistently, like often work for the city. I mean, a lot of white people too, but it just kind of who I was interacting with. A lot of teachers, a lot of people who work for the city of Chicago or St. Louis, or they work for universities. So that's kind of who I was socializing with. And it always just seemed like once they got their qualifications, there was still this ceiling of opportunities they were able to get. And they were very conscious about how much money people were making, especially in cities like Midwest cities where things are very like a lot of public service and pension type jobs. Like people know pay scale, so people can basically always know how much money you're making. And once Black people like hit a certain places, like there's nowhere else for you to go, or like there might be other places for you to go, but you're not there. And I saw that in terms of some of my white colleagues and the positions they were able to get, how much they were able to get paid. They basically just made friends with the people who hired them, and that's how they were able to get those jobs. But if you're not really socializing with or in favor of them, it just felt like, okay, how do I make that jump then? Like, how do I get to a 100K job in Chicago or St. Louis? Like, I was like, I'm not sure how to even do that. So coming back to this area is advantageous for that too. It was a professional decision to come back to this area. I was like, it's a great place to build up my resume.
Yeah, definitely. There's a lot of opportunities in that area. And so you mentioned that you were in your graduate program during the pandemic. Can you let us know like what time periods you were in your graduate program? How long did it take? When did you start?
Yes, I started the fall of 2018 and finished the spring of 2023. So 5 years.
Mm-hmm. And so what was it like going to school during the pandemic?
For you, it was for us. We struggled.
If I can be completely honest with you, like this is probably just something about me. Like it's oftentimes when other people find things most difficult, I'm like, great, everybody's stressed and out of my face. I can really lock in. And like, I feel like chaos is a ladder. I was so productive and on the ball during that time. And I was relieved too, because I didn't have to drive to school anymore. It's like all of my outside obligations suddenly stopped. And it was just like me and my laptop working for days on end. I would get up early in the morning, go for a walk in the park, make breakfast, work straight through the day. Maybe take a walk around the neighborhood in the evening, make dinner, watch a movie. If I wanted to keep working, I worked again, timing emails. You know what I mean? So it's just like I had so much freedom over my schedule, and I honestly never left that space. Like I'm holding on to that. I was really happy and healthy during that time. I didn't realize how exhausted I had been. Mm-hmm. It made me face a lot of the difficulty in that time actually was like facing a lot of my personal relationships and some of the difficulties in my professional relationships that I hadn't noticed because I was running around so much. I was community organizing against the land development, and then just commuting to class because everybody made it seem like, oh, well, if you're not here, you're not serious. But I was like, I never believed that you had to be there that much. So just the social pressure of that, and then everybody got overwhelmed and like kind of away from me a little bit.
The time to spend and just recharge is so valuable.
Yeah.
Thinking about the political climate, what was the political climate like in, I guess, Baltimore, because you were at Johns Hopkins, right? So during that time you're in grad school.
Yes. One of the major things that was just going on is just having to face like the disparities in people's health, like their own personal health, and then access to quality care, access to resources, access to like stocked grocery stores, masks. And then Baltimore has an air quality issue. The Black neighborhoods that have the like lowest average income are also hotspots for asthma and like cardiac complications and all of these things that were, predictors of catching COVID. And so there and in Prince George's County, things like wait times at hospitals, adequate staffing, like all these things that are always an issue just became more pronounced during that time. And for early childhood educators, the focus of my research, people just not being in good health, a lot of staff turnover because people were overwhelmed and had their own things going on in their personal lives. I feel like that was the biggest challenge. So during COVID, I feel like my professional life actually took off in a way that it had not, because I had it was basically just time to just show your work. So everything is just Zoom call, email, and professional presence. And there's now all these things that come into play when you're in a place physically, going about your daily routine. Even going to in-person meetings after that, you think about who sits in a room and where they're situated and who they sit next to and how people feel when they're in physical proximity to one another. All of that is eliminated. And now it's just the drafts I sent, the product of my work, the emails that I sent, who I connected to, and what I've done. And so, but in my personal life, all these things I was trying to avoid, the ways I neglected myself, the ways I neglected other people, the ways they neglected me, the ways my local politicians neglected the needs of the community. And now it's so pronounced and people are getting sick. I think that was probably a common experience.
Yeah, and so, you talk a lot about the disparities, but generally, what was the racial climate like in Baltimore, I guess?
I feel like it's always tense because the city of Baltimore is so shaped by Black people, but it's uncomfortable. I think the primary tension with Baltimore is that the city is uncomfortable with Black people just having things, anything, adequate housing, high quality transportation, access to good food, happiness, generally just good experiences. The aggression and the police presence that comes up in response to anything that Black Baltimoreans are doing for themselves, and the surveillance of that. And I feel like Hopkins participates in that quite viscerally. So if there's any kind of economic development, anything going on, down to the squeegee kids. So there are some of the things that come up a lot in Baltimore is panhandling. So people asking for money, or you'd be walking on the streets, people might ask you if you have any money, or there's kids who offer to clean your windows when you're at the intersections and you have a couple dollars. But there's a lack of recognition that is if somebody is literally out on the street, asking for money so that they can eat or pay for their rent, that means there's something that they're severely not being supported to do by the city, or maybe in their personal life also. And it's all very surveilled, but it's people just need money. You have money for anything else that you want to do. You have money for the white areas of the city and it's not even a problem. But some of the ways that the funding is tied to, of course, zip codes, and I want to say like TIP development funds. We don't want to get into that, but like the way the money is tied to fund public services, it disadvantages the Black neighborhoods, and then it's like everybody just watching people suffer. It's like a spectacle, but you can also just give people money or stop funding things like that. It's a choice. Poverty is a choice. The way Black Baltimoreans are treated is an active choice, and I think it's like planned harm. And for the sake of research, for the sake of Hopkins, it becomes something to study, something to get funds to study, like death and poverty.
Yeah, that's painful, right? Like that.
Yeah, I know that's too dark, but that's like the truth of it. Yeah, and for people who organize and do work for the city, like their message is often very clear like that. Like it's very to the point, and I think should be seen as for what it is.
So within your program, sort of, you told us it's in the School of Education, and so what did that look like? What was the cohort like? How many students in the program?
Yes. So when I came in, I think there were about 20 people in the program across all cohorts, ranging from my first year cohort was 6, all women, diverse, 3 Asian, 2 Black, 1 white. And then the oldest cohort at the time, I think for people wrapping up their 6th year, I think 1 might have been in their 7th, but they were off already working, kind of just waiting to defend. I noticed that our cohort was diverse, but the cohort above me were mostly like white and in their 30s with families and married. So I thought that was really interesting. I kind of like that about the program, because it meant that if my life went through those changes, if I had a child or got married, I feel like I'd be well supported. So the environment actually was very family friendly. We had events and people would bring their kids. And I thought that was unique because other programs seemed like people were more like me, going straight through, which is not always a great thing, right? I think the diversity of life experience was something I valued because I'm like, oh, that means that there are people here who are certainly wiser than me that I could learn from. So I like that. But in terms of the students who were above us, it was all white students with the exception of 2, 1 woman who was Indian, 1 man who was Black, and it was not diverse at all. But it was diverse in terms of life experience, the things that they had done, whether they decided to have a family or kids. And I really appreciated that, but it was not racially diverse.
And so kind of thinking about that, how do you feel like you belonged in your program as a Black woman?
I think my sense of belonging was actually more tied to just where I was geographically. I have to say I did not really prioritize looking to have my race or identity affirmed by my program, because to me it was more of like, this is what I'm doing professionally. But I feel at home in the DMV, so I just kind of wanted to be in a setting where I felt like that was affirmed, because to me it was just like a job, it was just a program. I wasn't seeking. I don't want to say I totally didn't care, but I guess my expectation was, yeah, some people are going to be racist or not think much of me, but I'm here to really get this degree, and as long as I can leave my program or leave class and feel like I can socialize the way I want to and see people who are also young and Black and professional and doing what they want to do, then it didn't really matter. Like, just in terms of my priorities, I want to be honest about that.
Yeah, and you mentioned sort of being supported through the stipend, but in what ways, how were you supported in the program?
And it's time for our ad break. Thanks so much for listening. We'll be right back. Are you a therapist of color struggling to find your place in the mental health world? Sparkle Healing LLC has got you covered. Located in the DC metropolitan area,
They focus on helping the helper. Discover their exclusive therapy services designed for therapists and other helping professionals to thrive. Immerse yourself in a supportive community, elevate your practice with expert consulting and supervision, and don't miss their rejuvenating wellness retreats, crafted to replenish your mind and spirit. Sparkle Healing LLC, where therapists find solace, community, and professional growth. Visit them today at www.sparklehealing.com. Tune in to a brighter future.
Welcome back to the Color of Success, the Black academic experience.
So for the stipend, they tuition was covered. The stipend was $30,000 a year plus dental, health, and vision benefits. And then in terms of the program itself, like getting through the program, I just connected with 2 or 3 professors. I found them that I really liked, and I guess they were diverse. One was my advisor, Lena Jeon. She's Korean. She's an immigrant. And another was Eric Rice. He is a white male. He taught for a long time, and he has a long time of experience in Baltimore. And then I would say, 2 more. So Yolanda Abel, who is a Black woman, she's been working at Hopkins for a long time and has a lot of experience, not just with the university, but just she's been in Baltimore for a long time. And then Dr. Norma Devines, who focuses on a lot of diversity initiatives for the staff, and she is just ultimately supportive of PhD students and even undergrad students looking to do PhD work, and has started a mentorship program around that. So I think for me, it was about if I just found a few good people that were supportive, that could just make my experience. But I did not expect a lot of affirmation from Hopkins as a whole, but there are good people no matter where you go. And so I figured once I found them, I just stayed connected with them, and they supported me through the end.
And I guess kind of like in the same lane, what did your support look like outside of your school?
Yeah, so I grew up nearby, and so it's funny, I thought they were supportive, but they weren't. But I had people that I already knew, and long-time friendships, long-time neighbors. So that looks like just friends, people to socialize with, people to just do things with me on the weekends, a lot of brunch, or going to museums, or going to local events, concerts. When I say support, I really mean supporting who I am as a person, because I guess I feel like there's schoolwork and support that I need to get schoolwork or work done. But I also need people who just support the person that I'm becoming, and that can look like not talking about work at all. People I can just be myself with. I don't want to always talk about work. I would also like to say I receive a lot of support from the Westphalia community. So my mom is in Upper Marlboro, Maryland. They're having a lot of land development issues as the DMV expands. But my neighbors there, they were so supportive in terms of reaching out to local politicians about their concerns, and just always staying so engaged, and people were just kind.
Right.
Yeah, that to me is support too.
Yeah. It's just so important to always remember that we're whole beings. So school is only one part of us. We have to have support for every aspect of ourselves. So I appreciate you talking about that. Was there any support that you wish you had that you maybe didn't have throughout your graduate program?
Yeah, but the support, yes. So 2 kinds. The relationships that really fell to pieces for me, and I do mean crumbled, were some of the long-time friendships that I had. There were just a group of Black women that I had been friends with, and we had gone through high school and college and grad school and had really stayed connected. And I didn't talk to them as much when I was living in the Midwest, but we still pretty much kept in touch. But I really like took for granted. Well, I think taking things for granted is actually a bit of a theme as I reflect on my relationships, because I was just so focused on trying to, like, I was just going through all the schooling and just didn't realize not only how much of their lives I had missed, but how much I had not expressed to them, like what kind of support I needed and like what it meant to like be a real friend. And so like I thought that I would have more support from those friendships. And then I had a breakup actually right before the pandemic. I was in a long-term relationship that ended, and I thought I would have support from a romantic partner, but ended up not having that either. But then on the other side of that, there were all these like community relationships, you know, like I guess the richness of platonic, non-familial, non-professional relationships. That was like this whole other kind of support that I like hadn't had in such great number. So there was a kind that I was like, oh, I wish I had that. I thought I had that. But then another kind where I was like, oh, this is so new. This is so full. Like, I don't want to take it for granted or make it seem like it's small, because it wasn't. They really kept me encouraged. Just neighbors, really.
Yeah, thank you for sharing that. And what did self-care look like for you throughout your grad school?
I think going on really long walks in the park, like just like the quietness of it. I did do some running, like long distance running, like I would run a couple miles, but then I was like, that hurt my knees for real. Like, I don't know if that's necessary. Maybe I'm not wearing the right shoes, and maybe my technique or posture is poor, but I would go on like really, really long walks, specifically Watkins Park. That was my spot. That was my park. And I would walk the trails there, and just to be away from everybody. Like, it's almost like there's no sickness or death or things to worry about when you're just in the woods. Like, you're just, you know, can reflect there. And then I cooked a lot. I really like to cook. So cooking for myself, cooking for my family is just a way of like saying we can make use of the resources that we have. And cooking is a bonding experience. So just being there, like in the kitchen with my sister, my mom, cooking, I felt like was important. Yeah.
The kitchen has a lot of positive energy for me as well.
It has what?
A lot of positive energy.
Yeah, that's good. What does it do for you?
I have to tell you, Briana, when Briana's cooking, she kicks everybody else out of the kitchen.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
It's like my meditation. It's like the rhythm, the pace. Like, you have to check everything. It's like I go there when I just need a break.
Okay. Yeah, that's so interesting. I feel like when I'm cooking, I like people to be around. Like, I want to chat over the stove and like have conversation. Like, it's like a gathering space.
I like to share the food at the end, but like
yeah, I'm gonna reserve my comments.
That's okay. That's all right. Nothing wrong with that at all.
And so, what value, if any, do you think that your experience in your grad school program had on your professional and personal life?
I think, like, in even my graduation experience, which was a little bit weird and disheartening, because I felt like everybody was just like don't know, okay, well, how do I address you now? Like, what happens now? You know, it's like you cross this threshold. And I think that actually the value is like just embodying the person that you want to be, right? It's not just about the research studies or the professional connections that you make. It's about the person that you become. So it's like, if you do all this work and you take all this time to cultivate these interests or this practice and this way of moving through the world, I realize that I can just embody that in everything I do. And I'm so much more than just this program. It's just one of the things I'm doing. I started a publishing company because I wanted to write creatively and I didn't want to have to ask anybody else to approve of it. I just wanted to put my work out. And then I spent a lot of time, which I think a lot of people in the pandemic did, like learning more about investing and like getting my money together. I'm like heavily involved in crypto and not trading, just buying. But I like got into so many things, like how can I be self-sufficient? And when I think about what it means to get a PhD, it's not about being self-sufficient and that you need to be the only one or the most excellent one or the most successful one, but it's about saying like, I've cultivated practices to say that I can hold my own in this space and I can learn from others, and I hope that others have things that they value from me that they also hope to gain. But I come prepared to share and receive, and like I feel like that's what this degree was about, or that's what I guess getting to this place in my life was about, even beyond the degree.
Thank you for sharing that. Knowing what you know now, what advice would you give to people thinking of going into a doctoral program?
I would say, like, I feel like somebody who wants to be a researcher and writer probably has a lot of things that really interest them or things that they value and people and relationships that they value. I would say don't sacrifice who you are for it. Figure out how you can enhance all of who you are during that same time. And that enhancement could look like a lot of change. Like my life is completely different than it was when I first started. And I am different. So like that enhancement can look a lot like change, and like trust the relationships that you build during that time and trust the relationships that fall apart too. Because then when you get to the end, I just felt really like clean. Like I felt very clear and focused, and like I had refined my life for the better. And it wasn't like an easy thing, but it was something that had to happen. Kind of like writing a dissertation. It's like this like constant refinement process is like really uncomfortable. Like it was uncomfortable for me to lose relationships that I felt like were so solid and that meant so much to me. But then like to go through the challenge of saying, well, there's other kinds of relationships that I have to be more open to and that I need to pour in, because like, hold on, you just met somebody really amazing. Don't take that for granted. Like this is just refinement. Like this is life. It's okay. And I felt like I was so ambitious and controlling coming into it that like on the other side of it, I'm like, oh, life is so much more expansive than that. Like you have to keep an open mind, even though your study is about a niche subject. Like don't forget about the fullness of life. And that's my advice.
And I think you kind of touched on something that a lot of people probably experience, like the shifting of the people who they surround themselves with. But it's almost to a certain extent like it's like grieving like those relationships a little bit. How did you navigate that?
I love how you say grief. That's such a good point. Yeah, that's what I was experiencing. I couldn't even name it at the time because but like now I do see it like that's the emotion. But at the time it just felt like discomfort. I didn't realize I was grieving things because I didn't realize it was gone yet. It was kind of like going through a breakup, and the relationship has really been over for like 6 months, but y'all still sitting there looking at each other like, okay, what now? But I did not realize it was happening. So maybe I don't know if grief is more pain. I don't know if grief is easier to deal with when you don't know that that's what's happening. I think one day I just looked up and everything was different, and I'm like, oh, this is it now. I think I just leaned on the things that I really like to do. So like I said, there was a lot of walking, and there was a lot of, I would say there was a lot of journaling. There wasn't that much journaling. There was a little bit, but just like letting myself feel things by myself and not distracting myself with the company of others. So even the people who were still around, it's easy to say like, oh, let's go out, let's do this, let's do that. And it's like, maybe you just need to sit by yourself and figure out how do you feel. And then in the absence of the people who were there, you know, what do you like? What do you want to do? How many things were you doing or spending your time or energy or money on that was more about keeping that relationship? But is that what you really wanted to do? Okay, but you're by yourself now. How you want to spend your Saturday? What do you want to spend your money on? Do you want to spend your money at all? Like maybe you want to save and invest it. Like I saved a lot of money. Like just to be real, I was like, wow, I'm really running it up here because I wasn't out and around all the same people, and my habits changed and my priorities changed. I would say just get back to yourself. Like I feel like grief is a perfect excuse to be really selfish. I think that's fine. And so I just cooked and walked a lot.
Yeah.
Those are things I like to do. I like to be outside physically, and I like to eat, and I think I'm a really good cook. So it was good for me. Yeah. And my mom and sister liked it too. I was randomly like, I would just buy some fruit, and I'm like, I'm gonna make a pastry or something. It just let me experiment, and it was delicious most of the time.
That's good.
Don't have us coming up to Maryland to
I don't mind. I'm like more open to just open to that, like more open to like just engaging with good people however they please. And I felt like my own habits of being kind of controlling in my relationship or feeling like it should be like that was also just a reflection of the values of the people that I was around. It's like, well, the people you're around value relationships running in a certain way, and then you kind of take that on too. And then you're like, and then ultimately, like, do I really care about that? It's like, I'm kind of open to whatever. So I kind of got back to myself with that. Like, what's really me? So if you want to come up and let me cook for you, that's completely fine. I don't mind.
And I know I can sit in the kitchen with you while you cook.
Yes, no, I love that. I love like conversation over like a sizzling skillet. That's the
best. We're about to like ask our last question. I'll let my Tito ask it because I don't know exactly which one we should ask. So go ahead, my Tito.
Well, we always try to close off with a fun little question. So if your dissertation journey was a book, what would the title be? And, you write. So I think that's, having a book is apt. But for some people, it's like, what is a song title that would capture this experience for you?
So I feel like the book title would be, I Reckon. Because I feel like that's something people in the South say a lot. Like, it's short for like, I recognize. But people be like, well, I reckon she wanted to do this, and that. Or I reckon that happened because of this and that. And so people say I reckon a lot. And I feel like, yeah, I reckon. Because I had to deal with so much in myself, my own like bad habits and the things that needed to change and the ways that needed to mature. And I feel like that actually was kind of hard when you never stopped going to school. And I had to recognize myself, and I had to recognize other people and be honest about that. So that was my dissertation. That's what I've titled the book. And then for a song, something fun. I don't know, Flying High. It would be a really groovy, upbeat song.
Oh.
Like, I think it would be really happy. I feel fortunate.
We're going to look out for that book in the next few years.
Yeah.
Definitely write it.
Yeah, it's coming. Sometimes I feel like it's like if you write an autobiography, it's like you can't write it too early, because if I had written something even a year ago, it would be so different than how I would say. Now my perspective has changed. I think once I get to a place where I feel like Yeah, I'm ready to share. It'll be there.
I mean, you could write memoirs, right? Like, there'll be people who are that age who need to hear that version of you.
Yeah, that's so true. Like, my little sister is 20 years old right now, and there's so many things that I want to tell her. But there were so many things that she has to figure out. I don't want to impose my value system on her. I feel like I want to be very careful about that. She has to be her own person. But the thing I always tell her is, like, don't worry about dating right now. Like, get your degree and get your money. Like, just wait. Because a lot of meet people, socialize. Don't close yourself off. And I'm like, don't give it time in such a way that it disservices your future. Not don't date, not don't, but it's like,
be open.
Be open and be balanced. Maybe that's what I want to say. Like, be balanced. Absolutely socialize and make friends, but be balanced, because the window of time for you to have that just total focus time is tight. I remember I was just super focused, maybe a little too focused, but I don't regret it.
We thank you so much for coming and chatting with us today.
Thank you so much for having me.
Hey, you. Yes, you. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell button, and the like button. You can find us on Twitter and Instagram. We are @_color of success. Bye-bye now.